Okay, so this is your last little unit. These are properties of logs. So let's just go ahead and start it out. First part of your worksheet will give you some logs and what they approximately equal. Okay. And then using these numbers, we are going to solve these problems. So, where do I even start? Okay, let's start with what numbers we're going to use. We're going to use a 3, we're going to use a 4. And using a 3 and a 4, we somehow have to get these big numbers, this 12 and 16 and 3/4 and 48. Okay, so hopefully you already see, oh, look, hey, if I multiply 3 times 4, I'll get 12. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. 12 is really 3 times 4. And I put these rules right here. If you are multiplying, then you're going to add these decimals. If you're dividing, then we're going to subtract these decimals. So let me kind of break it down because I'm sure you're like, what? 3. I know log base 5 of 3 is right here. It is 0.6826. Now, because it's 3 times 4, times is multiplying, so that means I'm going to add to it whatever log base 5 of 4 is. And log base 5 of 4 is 0.8614. So you just grab a calculator, type that in, 0.6826 plus 0.8614, and you get 1.544. Okay, let's do another one. Log base 5 of 3/4. Well, I don't even have to reduce this. It's already reduced. I'm using a 3 and I'm using a 4, and they are dividing. So I'm going to take log base 5 of 3. That's right here. It is 0.6826. Dividing means that I'm going to subtract. And log base 5 of 4 is 0.8614. Now, some of you might be saying, why are we using 3 and 4? Because that's what they gave me. They only gave me a 3 and a 4. So that's what I have to use. I can't use a 5 because they didn't tell me log base 5 of 5. I can't use a 6 because they didn't tell me log base 5 of 6. Okay? I have to use a 3 and a 4. So using a 3 and a 4, how can I get to 16? Well, I can't do 3 times 4. That's 12. Can't do 3 times 3. That's 9. But I can do 4 times 4, right? Do we agree 4 times 4 is 16? So 4, I know log base 5 of 4 is 0.8614. Multiplying means that we're going to add. Log base 5 of 4 is 0.8614. So add them. 0.8614 plus 0.8614, and you get 1.7228. Okay, 48. 48. Let's see here. 48 is really 4 times 4 times 3. 48 is 4 times 4 times 3. So I know log base 5 of 4 is 0.8614. They're multiplying, so I'm going to add. Log base 5 of 4 is 0.8614. It's multiplying, so I'm going to add. Log base 4 of 3 is 0.6826. I'm going to add all three of those, and you get 2.4054. I got another example like this to show you, kind of help you. This time, the numbers that I'm going to use are 28 and 4. So using a 28 and a 4, I need to figure out how to get to 7. Well, I'm not going to multiply. And if you think and know your math skills, you'll know that 28 divided by 4 is 7. 7 is really 28 divided by 4. So I know log base 3 of 28 is 3.0331. Divide means subtract. Log base 3 of 4 is 1.2. Oh, that's a 2. 619. Subtract those in your calculator and you get 1.7712. To get to 256, this one's kind of hard. And if you're not sure, just start playing with the numbers. The way I figured this one out is I did 256 divided by 4, and then I divided by 4 again, and then I divided by 4 again, and I realized, hey, 256 is really 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. And I know log base 3 of 4 is 1.2619 plus 1.2619 plus 1.2619 plus 1.2619. And when you add all those together, you get 5.0476. Last one. This one's a little bit harder. There really aren't any this hard on your worksheet. I just wanted to give you one. Log of 1/7. Well, there's not a 1 or a 7. But if you do 4 over 28, that will reduce to 1/7. So log base 3 of 4 is 1.2619. Dividing means to subtract. And log base 3 of 28 is 3.0331. And when you subtract those, you get negative 1.7712. So that's the first part of your worksheet. It's not too hard. Just take the numbers that it gives you and figure out how to get those big numbers, okay? Next is solving, okay? More solving. And we're kind of taking the skills that we just learned and doing the opposite. Here's what I mean. Before, like here, remember I said if they're multiplying, then what did we do? We added them. And if they were dividing, we subtracted. Now we're going to do the opposite, okay? If they're adding, that means they're really multiplying. So all my log base 4s, I'm just kind of going to cancel them all out. They go away. And plus really means times. So this is 5 times 4x, because plus means to times, equals 160. 5 times 4 is 20. To move your 20, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So x is 8. Let's do another one. They're all log base 6s. Okay, here's a rule we haven't covered. There's a big number on the outside. It becomes an exponent. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of all my log 6s. So this part right here really becomes 8 to the second. This becomes your whole number, and the number out front becomes your exponent. Minus, remember, means to divide, and it's got to equal x. So let me go through that again. I brought this 8 down. If there's a number in front of your log, it becomes the exponent. Minus really means to divide, and we're dividing by 4, and it's got to equal x. 8 squared is 64. Divided by 4 is x. And 64 divided by 4 is 16. Okay, let's do another one. Oh, this is a typo. This should be a 3. You're not going to have any with different bases. My bad, y'all. That's a 3. So I'm going to mark out all my log 3s because they're all the same. I have 4x. Oh, what am I doing? 4x. Minus really means to divide. I'm going to bring my 5 down. And it's got to equal x minus 6. I'm going to start by moving this 5. So the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. So those cancel. 4x equals 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 6 is 30. I'm going to move this 5x over. 4x minus 5x is negative 1x. Bring down a negative 30. Divide by negative 1. And x is 30. Ooh, 30. Okay, here's another one. Okay, this one's a little bit different. So this side has log base 2s. but this side does not. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to bring down log base 2. I have an x. Remember, plus means to multiply. And then I have x plus 2 equals 3. I'm going to go and distribute. So I'm going to put log base 2 of x squared, because x times x is x squared, plus 2x equals 3. The way we can get rid of this log is I can do 2 to log base 2. And remember, if you do it on the left side, you do it on the right side. So over here I really have 2 to the third. So 2 and raised to the log base 2, those cancel out. So I have x squared plus 2x equals 2 to the third. 2 to the third is 8. So I have x squared plus 2x equals 8. I'm going to move this 8 over. So I have x squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. This is factoring. Okay, we want to figure out what we can multiply to get negative 8 and add to get 2. And it ends up being a positive 4 and a negative 2, right? Because 4 times negative 2 is negative 8, and 4 plus negative 2 is 2. And then to solve this, if you remember, we're getting back into algebra, we're going to set them both equal to 0. I'd subtract 4 and get negative 4. I would add 2 and get 2. Now, what you need to know is that you're not going to have a negative, okay? Because when you plug a like if you did log base 2 of negative 4, that's undefined. It's not possible, okay? So the negative 4 actually is not an answer. Your only answer is x equals 2. I know you're probably confused, so I have another one just like this that we can do, all right? Again, on the left side, they're log base 10s, okay? So I can combine them. So I'm going to do log base 10 of x. Plus means we multiply, and x plus 21 equals 2. I'm going to distribute. So I have log base 10. X times x is x squared. X times 21 is 21x equals 2. To get rid of log base 10, well, I'm going to do 10 raised to that. So over here I have to do 10 raised to the second. So these cancel. And I have x squared plus 21x equals 2 to the 10th is 100. Or 2 to the 10th. 10 to the second is 100. Sorry. I'm going to move this 100 over. So x squared plus 21x minus 100 equals 0. We've got to factor it down. X and x. You got to figure out what will multiply to give you 100, negative 100, and add to give you 21. And it ends up being a positive 25 and a negative 4. And just to prove it, 25 times negative 4 is negative 100, and 25 plus negative 4 is 21. So set them both equal to 0. Move your 25 over and you get negative 25. Move your 4 over and you get 4. Again, you can't take log base 10 of a negative number. It's undefined. So your only answer is really x equals 4. One more example to go over. All right, we're back to everything has a log base 4, which I love because that means they all just cancel. So I have x plus 2. Remember, subtract means divide. 2x minus 3, and it's going to equal 3. Well, I need to get rid of this 2x minus 3 in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply by 2x minus 3. I'm going to multiply by 2x minus 3. Those cancel. So I have x plus 2. I'm going to distribute, and I get 6x minus 9. I am going to move the x over so that it stays positive. So I get 2 equals 6 minus 1 is 5x. I'm going to move my 9 over. And then do plus 9. 2 plus 9 is 11. Divide by 5 on both sides. And x is 11 over 5. And that's your answer. So, try this worksheet 7.5. If you get stuck, just wait till I come to your facility and I'll help you out. All right, good luck.